What's up, y'all? It's Techie Chris here, and I am back with another video. If you guys are watching this video, it's more than likely because you have been researching career fields in IT and you have kind of come across the field of network engineering, and it's kind of sparked your interest in some way, shape, or form. So in this video, I'm going to break down how to become a network engineer and some of the things that I recommend doing in order to advance and become a network engineer. So let's be honest, network engineering isn't really the most popular job in the IT field. And when people hear network engineers, sometimes they think of people who are just running fiber and cables underground, maybe replacing a router here and there. But the truth is, network engineers do so much more dirty work that doesn't go noticed by a lot of the regular population. Network engineers are the people who are in charge of maintaining, deploying, architecting all network infrastructure within an organization. They are in charge of making sure that data gets from one point to the next point. We work with routing protocols like OSPF, BGP, and so much other protocols. And overall, just make sure that business operations are always running. If the network goes down, the business operations will no longer run, which is trouble for a network engineer. Some of the reasons why network engineering is a very good field is because there's opportunities to work from home, to work in office. There's opportunities to work with so much cool technology that you would never have the opportunity to work with if you weren't in the field of networking. Also, with networking, you're able to move into other fields like security, cloud, and a lot of other paths in tech, because everything runs on the network. Once you have a basic grasp of the network, you're able to move into fields more freely. And also, working as a network engineer, the pay is very competitive. When you work as a network engineer, you have the ability to make $80,000 and above on a yearly basis. So I'm just going to give you a couple of things that I believe you do not need to become a network engineer. And if you do have any of these things, it is 100% a plus, but you don't need these things to become a network engineer. You do not need a 4-year degree. I personally have a 4-year degree, but a lot of people are under the impression that you need a 4-year degree to be successful as a network engineer. While it is 110% possible to get into the field without a 4-year degree, I sometimes do recommend it just for the ability to fall back and to pivot into other careers a little bit more freely. I personally have a degree in information technology, but if anybody asks me if it is a requirement to get a degree, I always tell them no, because there's people on my teams who know a lot more than I do, and they have never been to a college or university. Another thing that you don't need is to be a master of everything. There's a common misconception in network engineering, honestly in IT and tech itself. There's a misconception that you have to be a master of everything that you learned on a certification in order to do well inside the field. And quite frankly, this is not true. Especially for network engineering, what I try to do is be very good at least one thing. Me personally, I'm very good in routing and switching. I have teammates who are very good in wireless, and then I have other teammates who are exceptional in voice and telecom. Beating yourself up for not understanding everything to the maximum capability is not a good thing, because there's always opportunities for you to learn and expand your knowledge as you work up in the field. Don't go and over certify yourself because you want your certifications and your experience to kind of match. Hands-on experience, whether it be a lab or actual on-the-job experience, tied along with certifications are kind of going to be the best mixture of background to excel your career. So if I was going to break into network engineering all over again, here is exactly how I would do it. Like I said earlier, you do not need a degree, but me personally, having a degree has definitely helped me to be more stable in my career. So I would recommend getting a degree, but do not let the degree that you're getting limit you to not being able to do anything while you're getting your degree. While I was getting my degree, I was still completing certifications and doing other things to help me excel my career. But for becoming a network engineer, the first thing you're going to do is learn the basics. You can use people like Network Chuck, you can use people like Jeremy's IT Lab. Just go ahead, understand the basics. You need to know what a VLAN is. You need to understand what DNS does. You need to know what the OSI model is. These foundational skills is what's going to help you to become a network engineer and help you build on the current foundation that you already have. I then recommend that you study and get the CompTIA Network Plus. And during this time while you are studying for the Network Plus, I recommend you to be applying for jobs and trying to get your name out there. Don't wait until you finish your certification to then start applying. Put the certification on your resume immediately when you start studying for it, and when asked about it in your interviews, let them know that you plan to finish this certification in the next month and you have been studying actively for it. Get the Network Plus, because the Network Plus will give you an understanding of all the basics and all the terminology that you would use day to day as a network engineer. If you're doing everything right, by now you will have your Network Plus and hopefully you will at least have a help desk job. With Network Plus, you are definitely able to get a network admin position, but at least do your best, get a IT help desk, IT support, anything in IT to get your foot in the door, work and get that position. I have to mention that network engineering is not an entry-level position. They do have entry-level network engineering roles, but they're usually a junior network engineer or a network administrator. So once you got your first entry-level role, or you're currently working in IT and you have your Network Plus, I recommend that you get your Cisco CCNA. Before you get your CCNA, you are more than welcome to get things like the Security Plus, because those are also great certifications. But I recommend that you get your CCNA because CCNA actually teaches you how to configure devices, and then it also capitalizes on the stuff that you learned from your CompTIA Network Plus. So with your CompTIA Network Plus and your CCNA, now you are actually starting to become a real engineer. The CompTIA Network Plus helps you to understand the technologies, but the CCNA actually helps you learn how to use those technologies and configure them in a real environment. Get your CCNA and do a lot of labs on things like Cisco Packet Tracer, GNS3, even J. I personally recommend Cisco Packet Tracer because that's a free resource and there's nothing required for purchase with Cisco Packet Tracer. While you're studying for your CCNA, definitely make sure you're continuing to apply to jobs during this period. And if you have the funds for it, definitely work on getting a home lab. Hands-on experience is some of the best things that you can do for this field. And if you're able to purchase like a router, a switch, and maybe a firewall, you can also purchase a server if you're able to. Set them up in your home and do the same things that you did on Cisco Packet Tracer, just in an actual home lab. Touching the real equipment gives you a lot more experience that you won't get if you never touch the real equipment. With that, you'll finally learn how to actually console into a switch. You'll get more familiar with the ports and the actual physical hardware of the network devices that you're dealing with. The best way to grow as a network engineer is to break stuff in your home lab and to fix them. Troubleshooting is a big part of a network engineer's job, and if you never actually touch some hardware, it's going to be hard to get the actual experience of troubleshooting, breaking, and fixing a device. During this time, make sure that you keep applying to jobs. Even after the CCNA and you have been working for a little bit and starting to get some good experience with networking, go to certifications like the AWS Solutions Architect, there's many Azure certifications, and then eventually as you progress in your career, I would recommend you going for the CCNP. I personally followed a similar journey to this one that I'm telling you. I interned for many companies in college. The last internship that I did brought me on full-time as a network admin, and then I eventually got a new position as a network engineer. During this time, I did everything that I told you guys to do as far as certification. These certifications honestly take you so far in this field. So that's the advice that I would give to you on how to become a network engineer. Some of my biggest tips about the process is to not be afraid to fail. Network engineering is honestly not an easy career. There's a huge learning gap from people who have never worked in IT and people who are experts in network engineering. It's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, but it's a rewarding career that will take you places in the future. Don't ever be caught comparing yourself to other people who are in the field. Make sure that you use your resources and do a lot of research. One of the biggest things in a network engineer's job is research. I research things all the time, even if it's a simple command that I'm supposed to have known, and I have to go back and look for the command on like Stack Overflow or Cisco white pages. Just don't be afraid to use your resources to help you. Google is literally free. If you don't understand a topic, just literally Google the topic and get the understanding of it. And lastly, just stay consistent. When I was studying for my certifications, I would find myself studying for 5, 6, maybe even 7 hours a day sometimes. And I would do that throughout the week. You have to want to learn more in this field and want to elevate your career. The ones who make it in tech aren't the ones who are the smartest. It's usually the people who are most consistent and have the grit and diligence to learn. But yeah guys, that's it for the video. I honestly love the field of network engineering. It's not a very popular field, so when I meet other network engineers, it's always a great conversation. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.